Chuck Norris has always been a quiet man, the one who let his fist do the talking, and his presence alone was louder than any headline. His calm demeanor has been admired by his fans for a very long time, both on-screen and off-screen. But even at that, he had actors he despised so much. When he chose to break the silence and call out the well-known actors he detested, all hell was let loose. Industry insiders, as well as fans, were stunned. From decades of built-up resentments to betrayal, the martial arts icon unveils this part of him that is unafraid to speak his mind when integrity is on the line, and these are the top 7 actors he hated the most. Moving on, at the number 5 spot, we have Leonardo
Truthfully, I don't know. I don't know Steven. I've only met him once. Jean-Claude's pretty good.
DiCaprio. George Clooney and Leonardo are both talented actors who own homes in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and enjoy playing basketball in their downtime. One would never think anything could go wrong. Speaking with Esquire in 2013, Clooney recalled bumping into Leonardo in Cabo, where they got talking about basketball and decided to set up a game. Leonard's teammates bragged about the game, and Clooney dropped a subtle threat as well. While watching them warm up, Clooney remembered that the team they were up against could not back up their words. He threw some serious shade after remembering the final score, saying, "We're all like 50 years old and we beat them 3 straight. 11-0, 11-0, 11-0, 0.0. Sources close to the couple say they have become bitter rivals, and that George is terrified as critics are panning his latest film, The Monument Men, and see Leonardo as the favorite to win the Oscar for the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. The source further said, George thinks Leonardo is an arrogant slob who talks dirty and surrounds himself with a bunch of servile cronies who ask for favors. Though the feud has lasted for years, it has heated up as Leo is on his way to kick George as the new king of Hollywood. Ever since the incident, the relationship...
He's the man the fans came out to see, Joe Lewis, who has been acting for the last 2 years.
Between the actors has since turned sour when Leonardo dropped out of the 2011 drama, The Ides of March, which the 52-year-old Clooney directed, produced, wrote, and starred in. It became clearer that they were sworn enemies when Clooney called Leonardo out on an interview in 2014, saying that he was surrounded by a bunch of creeps and that no one would honestly tell him how things are. The next actor on our list is none other than number 4, Charles Heston. Heston is an American actor who rose to fame for his leading man role in numerous Hollywood films, including science fiction, film, and action films. He was one of a handful of Hollywood actors to speak against racism. Charlton and Clooney had a brief but public conflict that attracted criticism in the early 2000s. In 2003, Clooney made a controversial joke while attending the National Board of Review Films Award, where he referenced Charlton Heston's struggle with Alzheimer's disease. He was criticizing conservative figures in Hollywood when he said, Charlton Heston announced today again that he is suffering from Alzheimer's. The audience perceived this as highly insensitive because Heston revealed his medical condition in 2002, and many saw Clooney's statement as a cheap shot at someone suffering from a serious illness. In response, Heston replied, "It just goes to show that class can be bought in Hollywood, or at least rented." It was followed by a backlash from Heston supporters, as well as Hollywood and the public, who felt the joke was unnecessary and too extreme. In an interview, Clooney admitted to apologizing. He said, and I quote, "I wrote him a letter saying I usually avoid jokes."
Hey, jazz man, I've got a very presidential answer for this.
At people's expense. So I'm sending you an apology, and I got a nice letter from his wife. The issue was resolved publicly, but who knows the content of the heart? Enough about Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's have a look at number 3, who is none other than Quentin Tarantino. Clooney and Tarantino are 2 titans of Hollywood, known for their collaborations, and one wouldn't know there was bad blood existing between the both of them. The clash...
I asked President Xi if they had a drug problem in China, do the voice, but he said, no, me no like.
Started during their time on Dusk Till Dawn, a film that launched their collaboration, but ultimately tore them apart. Before Clooney became a Hollywood powerhouse, he was known as the handsome doctor from the ER. Determined to make a name for himself beyond the small screen, he got his big break in the film From Dusk Till Dawn, Tarantino's crime horror hybrid. It was supposed to be a smooth sail, but things went sour. Tarantino, who was a visionary director with a taste for the bold and bizarre, known for his sharp dialogue and fast-paced storytelling, was fresh off his success with Pulp Fiction when he came on the movie. Clooney, on the other hand, was soft
Well, the interesting thing is nobody's actually forced to watch. I found that out.
spoken and lightheaded. Not long after they began the movie, Tarantino and Clooney had a huge clash. This started with Tarantino's strange attitude on set, which Clooney couldn't stand. He went as far as saying that Tarantino's behavior made him uncomfortable, and the whole experience was a nightmare. Tarantino did not keep mute. He fired back. Not directly, but through interviews, hinting that Clooney's Hollywood charm did not fit into his intense creative process. His words cut deep, and it was crystal clear that their methods were different. However, they were able to finish the movie, after which it raised a frenzy online with people creating different memes of Clooney's calm demeanor. Contrasting with Tarantino's wild interview moments. One popular one had Clooney sitting calmly with an espresso, while Tarantino was ranting about film history in the background. Even after the release of the movie, their relationship never really recovered. During the interview, when Tarantino was asked to name real movie stars in today's Hollywood, he listed a few names. But the twist came when the interviewer mentioned George Clooney. Tarantino boldly replied, "He's not a movie star." He also added, "When was the last time he had a hit? This millennium?" The statement annoyed Clooney so much because the millennium was his whole career year. One unnamed producer quoted Tarantino saying he called Clooney a piece of shit when it came to attracting an audience. This has been fueling the quiet tension between the two, and they have not agreed on a common ground. Let's have a look at the next one, which is number 2, Fabio Lanzoni. Fabio is an Italian actor, fashion model, and spokesman known for his wide-ranging career, including work as a romance novel cover. He was also known as the sexiest man in the world at some point. The tussle all started in 2007 when George Clooney and his girlfriend Sarah Larson were having dinner one night at the opening of the restaurant, Lamborghini Calabasas in Los Angeles, while Fabio was seated with a group of ladies who wanted to have dinner with him in a contest, and a photographer started taking pictures of Fabio and his group. Sitting directly behind him was George Clooney, who thought they were taking pictures of him and his girl. He gets irritated and tries to send the photographer away. Reports have it that he was drunk, and he kept giving the lady the finger. Fabio asked Clooney to chill that his friends were taking pictures of.
I wound up at this rehab, right, in Utah, and they do something called Family Week. And every week on a Sunday, everybody who's involved in the program has their family show up on these Skype calls.
Themselves. He went ahead to tell Clooney to stop being a diva. Clooney did not take it lightly, as he gave it right back, and before you know it, they were pushing each other. Fabio went ahead to call Clooney a low-class scumbag. Fabio later downplayed the incident in interviews, but still criticized Clooney's attitude. Clooney, on the other hand, never seriously addressed it in public. And at the top of our list, we have number 1, David O. Russell. When two powerful personalities collide on set, the result is always brutal and heartbreaking. Having worked on so many projects, George Clooney has never been known for being a hothead. He was known to be calm, collected, and charming. As a result, he was awarded the sexiest man in Bollywood. But he tagged David. O. Russell is extremely challenging to work with, and one of the worst experiences of his life. This tension began in 1999 at the making of the film Three Kings, which marked the turning point for them. During a candid chat with Brad Pitt, Clooney did not hold back his feelings about Russell, describing him with harsh language, signaling a long-standing grievance. Because of how serious this controversy was, it was known throughout the industry. This behavior left a vivid picture of how Russell's behavior left crew members feeling belittled. Ever since, George Clooney has assessed his projects and artists and ruled out future collaborations with him, stating that merely producing films does not justify enduring a difficult working environment. Clooney detailed his clash with Russell in a 2000 interview with Playboy, calling the 5-month production the worst experience of his life. He said after witnessing Russell being abusive to crew members, humiliating them in front of others, he penned down a letter to the director, asking that he calm down for the sake of the project.
Bruce was amazing, but in my opinion, there were also many, many amazing masters on completely different levels. Completely different level.
One of Bruce Lee's great movies.
Return of the Dragon.
Return of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And this is a famous, famous fight scene.